Um, so I focus really on my intentions. Why did this happen at this point? Part of me was pushing myself a little bit too hard. I have to accept that I created this. And I know doing the Arkasha healing workshop the other week just reminded me so much. Like, people were asking me about, like, how many years had I been teaching, and how many years had I been doing meditation and different kind of things, and I was picking up so much more in the class, and I was kind of like, oh, I forgot about this part of me, this kind of, intuitive part of myself. And really change like this, instead of going into fight or flight and getting angry and wanting to set the building on fire when you're really mad about being fired for a disability, which, in all fairness, you can have that anger. But in essentiality, I'm not that mad. I'm not that upset. Yes, I was the first day, but I think it was like shock, you know? Because I didn't think they could legally do that. But at the same time, I know that going forward, I just need to bend to what way is going. My family were moving over to the north side of Dublin, and I would have had to find my own place on the west side of Dublin. And because of the rent crisis, I couldn't find anywhere. It was too expensive. So, me moving over to the north side, closer to the sea, is exactly what I need right now. There's a big cleanse going on, and I really need to wash away a lot of the negative energy that has taken over me over the last few years. And I'm really feeling a shift and a change. And I don't think that the energies in Dublin West, there's some people who like to meditate in the forest, and then there's people who like to meditate by the sea. I like to meditate by the sea, and I feel a connection when I have my feet in the water, and being closer to the beach is going to make me feel so much more free. Whereas when you're landlocked in Dublin West, there's no kind of water nearby, and there's a lot of traffic, so you kind of feel like you're stuck a lot of the time, because you're going to have to go through hours of traffic no matter which direction you go. So there is a feeling of being trapped. So again, I'm trying to think of the positivities of this whole situation and where this is going. And I really feel like this next few months, I really want to do the Arkasha level 2 and start doing Arkasha treatments for people over Facebook and online. So I really feel like this is a whole shift. And looking at our lives like this in a conscious manner means that we're bending instead of breaking. And nobody can truly break you unless you give them permission to at the end of the day. You are this impenetrable being that can keep going. People have gone through much worse than losing their jobs. They've gone through cancer, they've gone through death in their family, and this is just a change for me. And again, every little change, we have to look consciously and go, did I really want this? And part of me wasn't happy in my job. Part of me was feeling like I wasn't being appreciated, even though I was a top salesperson. And they weren't very compassionate about my illness. So I'm going to have to find somewhere where they are compassionate about people who have functional neurological disorder, and who, are compassionate about the fact that I'm going to have, symptoms during the day, or I might have to take days off or whatever. So if such a job doesn't exist, I'll create my own one. At the end of the day, I've had my own business before. I can go back there. That's no fear, and that's a great thing to have a fallback. Always being able to work for yourself, just in case, because the retail industry, it is a quick turnover, and so you can't really rely on the retail industry in Ireland, not at all. Like, I've even seen it going around the other shops, and there's people in other shops like that were in mobile phone shops before, and I was like, you used to work here? Oh yeah, that didn't work out. I moved here, I moved here, I moved here. So again, I guess people in retail are learning to bend as much as they can instead of breaking. Maybe that's taught me a lot as well, working with people. But again, what else in your life do you think you could bend to instead of breaking? Some bad news, some good news, new adjustments. Um, I really feel as well that I met someone and he is so compassionate that I don't know really how to take it because I have not had a good experience with partners before. Again, I'm a natural healer, so I tend to go for people who are very much needing healing, instead of finding someone who's willing to heal me. And this shift is about learning to bend to his energies because I'm almost like trying to take care of him constantly, but he's like, no, I got this. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's almost like I've become controlling because I've always had to do everything in a relationship. So that's great. And again, bending instead of breaking, instead of just storming off. And I did feel my walls go up a little bit like, oh my God, why is this guy so nice? What's the catch? There has to be a catch when something nice happens. And I was watching something about Brené Brown on Netflix, and she was talking about how, despite the fact that you might say that you want happiness, sometimes joy can be a trigger because you're almost like not used to it. That you're almost like, oh my God, I can't handle this. And part of me felt like that very much so. The first few days I was talking to him, I was like, don't be so nice to me. What are you looking for? Again, in Ireland, it tends to be the thing of a man's bought you flowers, he's done something to like apologize for. It's not normally out of niceness, but this guy's from Mexico, so maybe he's come from a different background of a bit more respect for women. um, but yeah, bend and break this week. That's my motto, and if you have your own story of bend and break, comment below. Namaste and have a good morning, everybody.